Yeah, marvelous. Okay. Yeah, I'm on my Frank Lucas shit. 3-piece suits, Valentino cufflinks, LV shoes. I bring the shorty closer, just enough to feel the gun on the holster. Out on the balcony, feeling on the breeze. City skylines, we're puffing on some trees. Cup of Henny on the rocks with the soda. Maybach, front of the building with the chauffeur. And he waiting on me, got an umbrella in his hands and my name in the seats. No gift, baby, no thanks, no chinchillas, baby. So what happened to Frank? No phone calls, transactions hand in hand. Give the drugs to Rick, the money to Benny Banks. Talk to Craze and he talks to me. Keep my business out the streets, it's the ART.
Welcome to the show. I'm your host, Rick H. You know that by now, 40 episodes in, blah, 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 blah. Craze Boogie's here.
I'm still here. Surprisingly.
He's here. This swab motherfucker with the polo hat on is Benny Banks.
I'm here, I'm in the building. Yo, what's up? It's me.
I like that intro. I like that.
That was extra special.
That was a little extra.
And I'm joined by not just makeup, beauty, fashion, everything.
The whole shebang.
He knows all about that. TV personality, whatever that means. He's
my favorite character on Love and Hip Hop.
So
thank you,
Jonathan.
Craze's main dog, because he loves him, and Craze was the one I was like, we need to get him on the
meeting him.
Yeah. And he gets to come. And me and Jonathan share a birthday, so happy birthday to us. 35 years, motherfuckers. Take that shit. Jonathan Fernandez.
Thank you. I'm actually so excited to be here. Like,
are you really like we're a small little
No,
podcast,
I'm not even kidding.
Like,
For one, you guys drink.
Okay.
So already, I was like, sign me up. For two, you guys are Dominican,
Let's
so
go.
it's like, and for three, sidebar. So we're at the Monkey Room in Washington Heights, and when I was 19, I hope the owner is not anywhere near. So when I was 19, they used to have a gay night here on Wednesdays.
I didn't know
and
that.
they used to sneak in here with a fake ID,
Hey.
and at 1 a.m. like a pumpkin, run down for Washington before my mom, who's sitting right there, would wake up and realize that her little homosexual son was not home.
So mom,
I'm like, it's like a full circle moment.
Damn.
Mom, did you know that was going on?
She had no idea.
She said she's nodding yes.
Mom is nodding yes.
Mom is nodding yes. Shout out to mom, by the way. She's
shout out to mom. Shout out to all the supportive moms who have different ass kids and are standing right by their side. Shout out to Jalissa and Giovanni as well.
08.
And
Godmoms too.
Yes, and godmoms too.
So my brother, she said godmom, but my baby brother, he's gonna be a world-renowned famous actor.
Yes, he is.
Yeah.
Because he's a triple threat. My little brother can actually sing. Like, I swear to God, I'm not because he's my brother. He's like, I've been to his performances. He's a star.
He wants to be like a Broadway star.
Oh, that's
He's
so.
a dancer.
And he's
a performer.
He'll be there.
He was 100,000% supported growing up. So
yeah.
Yes,
Oh,
That's
so
awesome.
quick story. My brother was 12 years old when he came out. And for a 12-year-old person to identify and know what he is and who he is, I got a phone call from my sister, not my mom. Sorry. My sister, the same time, she was in the other room because my brother went from the living room. He went into the room and he told my mom, I know who I am. This is who I am. And he told my sister was in the other room, like, Ariane just told mommy, you guys might want to speak to him.
Wow.
And then my mom texted me and called me. I called my brother, so I was like, listen, you are who you are no matter what happens. We love you and support you. Somebody says something different, let me know. I'll slap the shit out of them. That's exactly.
That's a good big brother answer.
Hell yeah.
And after that, every time I say hi to him, I give him a nice big kiss in the cheek and I squeeze the shit out of him, just so he knows that, like, it's not because of
even though he's bigger than both of us.
He's the biggest little brother you can see. Not
consent though is a big issue there for me.
What in the cheek?
You know what I'm saying? You said you squeezed him. You didn't ask him if you want to be squeezed.
Whoa,
bro.
You know what I'm saying?
I mean, if I did it, let me know. You know, if there's a problem, I mean, I just did it because I just feel that in my family, for him at that, my family likes to be very, and I'm taking this Jonathan's episode.
Yeah, I was gonna say
but my family,
I like it though.
My family's like really like they don't like if I have an issue or a problem, I will never tell anybody else. You know, I try to internalize that shit.
That's a Dominican thing, though. It's not
yeah. So for my 12-year-old brother to know who he was at that point in time, and I told him this, like, you have bigger balls than me and Benny because you did something that even not just us, like other people are very scared to do. Yeah. So
definitely bigger,
my brother.
Definitely bigger balls than you.
I would say it took me years. It took me years to even admit it to myself. Like, people ask me all the time. They're like, "When did you know you were gay?" Yeah. But it's like, when did you know you were straight? Yeah, when did you know that you were attracted to women? For me, I always knew I was different. I didn't know that I was gay per se because I wasn't a sexual child at all. I didn't explore into sexuality until I was a late teen. I was a late bloomer. Oh, wow. But then growing up, I felt different. So I internalized that as low self-esteem. So when I was attracted to a boy, what I would see it as is, oh my God, I want to look like him or I want to dress like him. So I would run home and like tell my Mom, I need to have a Columbia jacket and it has to be purple on top and blue at the bottom. That's the one I want. And my mom was like, Mijo, I don't know where the fuck to find it. I'm like, find it. Or like, I wanted the blue JanSport with like extra strings because that's what the boys that I liked at the time had. I didn't know that it was that I had crushes on them. It was just I felt like, well, admiration. I don't, assimilate to anybody in this school. I went to public school, PS 173. It was hell. Let's go. Shout out to PS 173. But no shout outs to the motherfuckers who, can I curse in here? Yeah. To the motherfuckers who made my life a living hell.
Jonathan, you can do whatever you want.
Great. Negative shout outs. So, I was picked on all the time and I used to really have crushes on these boys and I just internalized it as, oh, he's so cool or he's so fly or I want to be like him or I want to look like him. Mm-hmm. And it led to me like getting plastic surgery and all kinds of shit I'm sure we'll get into. But as a kid, you don't know. Yeah. And I didn't know what being gay was. I mean, growing up, my mom had gay friends. She had a friend. His name was Juanito. And
shout out to Juanito.
Shout out Juanito. He sounds like an icon.
You know why
he's passed away since, but he was eccentric. And my mom always had eccentric people around us. She had a lesbian friend named Mima, and so I just knew that I could possibly live my life openly, but as a child I didn't see it that way.
Well, God bless that we live in this time, and you're able to do that because earlier on it was not. Not easy.
Not at all.
So
not at all.
Yo, let's.
I was gonna ask questions, but none of those questions are even in there. So who is Jonathan Fernandez? That's a very broad and.
You were born here?
I was born here. My parents are both Dominican.
That's cool.
From Moca.
Hey, shout out to Moca. Yes. Hey, you're from Moca.
Yes. Really? We might be related. We might be cousins.
So we figured it out today. I can see it. Jonathan and I are brothers. I'm like the fat, funny brother. He's like, we're twins. He's like the handsome brother because we're born on the same day, same year, same everything.
Same time frame.
Same time frame.
You say you were born de madrugada.
I gotta double check with mommy. I was born in Mount Sinai. I know that.
You were born in Washington Heights.
Born and raised in Washington Heights. 178th, actually.
You got some Latinos in here.
Oh yeah. We grew up on 174.
On 174? Where?
Wadsworth. The Nemo spot.
So that's
trust me, I know far too well exactly where you're from.
That's where it was. My grandfather was the super of that building.
Funny story. Okay, so you know how they say Dominicans took all the Jewish people and all the Italian people out of Washington Heights?
Yeah, we did.
Okay, so I'll tell you a quick story. There's a furrier. Her name is Adrienne Landau.
What's a furrier?
Landau.
Somebody who
she makes all those furs. So you see all the furs that Nicki Minaj wears and Cardi B wears, the yellow. This woman designs these fucking furs.
Shit.
So my friend ends up getting a job as her creative director. Okay. So I go to a party with them. Just a backstory of fucking, what is it, Washington Heights. Sorry, I'm drunk as well. So I'm talking to this lady, older Jewish lady. She's like, living her best life with her cocktail. She's got to be 70. And we're talking. And she's like, where are you from? I said, oh, Washington Heights. She said, me too. I said, really? I'm thinking this loaded ass, older Jewish lady. She like works with all the big stars. And she's like, where did you grow up? And I said, oh, I grew up on a small little block called Cabrini Boulevard. It's Cabrini, but there's a small little Cabrini Boulevard that's just one block. And she said, what the fuck? Are you serious? Me too.
Oh, shit.
And I said, you're lying. You have got to be kidding me. I said, well, I lived on the last building, building 9. She said, oh my God, me too.
What the fuck?
So I said, wait a minute. What? I said, are you kidding me? I said, I lived on the top floor. We had a fire escape in our bedroom and we used to look out. She said, is your apartment 5B? And I said, yeah, that's where I grew up. She said, are you kidding me? She said, I lived in that apartment till 1982.
What the?
And I said, you've got to be kidding me because that is the year that my dad and my mom moved in there.
Let's go.
Wow.
Isn't that crazy?
Getting Italians out of the
Such a
house.
fucking crazy story.
Getting Italians out of the house.
And our Jose,
Jewish.
Jose's also from Cabrini Boulevard, which is insane. It happens to be. I didn't plan that shit.
Yo,
That's crazy.
The Cabrini.
Yes, he is. He just said.
Were you listening?
Don't mind.
Yo,
Don't
you
mind.
had to learn how to skate through dog pool. If you're from Cabrini. You know what I mean? But that's like the dog paths to school.
So it's a Cabrini episode.
All right, so back to your question.
So who is Jonathan Fernandez?
So Jonathan is. That sounds ridiculous. I am.
I know, right?
I
Don't say it in the third person.
Yeah, I like the third person.
That sounds terrible.
I love the third person one.
I like it.
I am a brother. I am a man.
Okay.
Okay, my father passed away when I was young, and when I came back home, my mom sat me on her lap and she said, you're the man of the family. You have sisters and you're surrounded by women and you are to make something of yourself. The man of the house takes care of the house. And so I always was cognizant of the fact I might be a different man, but I am a man.
For sure.
So Jonathan is a man, and Jonathan is a brother, a person who cares about people around him, and I'm a person who never wants to succeed if everybody around me can't succeed as well.
Let's go.
Wow.
That's a good answer. How many siblings you got?
Siblings, oh baby. My father was Rolling Stone, so from my dad's side, it's 6 of us. From my mom's side, it's 3 of us, and I have a stepsister as well. That
So
is, like,
you're
part of the
definitely
family.
Dominican if you start.
Oh yeah.
You're
Anytime you get asked how many siblings you have, and it comes with a disclaimer, you're Dominican.
If your dad had like a secret family, might be
And
Dominican.
if you have 700 cousins.
Hold on. No, we're not condoning that.
It's just
Oh,
a
I
fact.
am. Live your best life. Fuck
Yeah,
everybody.
fuck them.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. But I'm just saying.
Live your best life.
Right?
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm just saying.
I have aunts and uncles who are way younger than me. My grandfather's still getting it in.
Hold on.
Yo,
Yes, I say sion tío and sion tía to somebody who's probably 17.
I feel that.
True story.
Hold on a second. So my grandmother had 11 children, and I have a cousin who's older than his aunt, and they used to hang out together all the time. So I get it. It's understandable.
That's what it
it's
is.
understandable. I'm just saying, you might want to like stick to one woman if you can.
That's the Dominican.
If that's not you,
lifestyle.
then that's not you, Papa.
That's not me.
Okay.
That's not stick to one woman. That's not me at all.
Exactly.
Or one man. Or one man and woman if you
That's
want.
not me.
One of each.
One of each. If you
I'm
want.
still trying to figure it out.
That might not be bad. That might not be bad.
So
He's also
you gave us a
Rolling
little background on your life and family, which was the second question. You obviously have sisters.
Yes.
And how did you get into? I'm sorry, I said you obviously have sisters. I'm gonna ask him about makeup. Makeup
That
has
was-
nothing
you
to do with
see?
just women.
You see?
I just put myself in the wrong box.
Yeah.
There. But
Put yourself in a
how'd
box
you get
there.
to makeup and beauty products? Like, what got you into that? Like, that's there's a lot of.
Did it have anything to
competition.
do with your sisters? That's how you asked that question.
No, it didn't.
Yeah.
I was just thinking.
No, you're right because it
Ask the
did.
question. Ask the question.
Because it did.
So you're into makeup and
Beauty and
beauty and
makeup.
makeup. Did that have anything to do with the fact that you have sisters?
Yes, in a sense.
Wow.
So growing up, do you guys remember Bob Ross, the guy who? Right?
Yo,
Remember
shout out to
he
Bob
painted
Ross. Shout out to Bob Ross.
And he would paint little
Rest in
birds and
peace.
fucking
I love
corny
Bob
little
Ross.
fucking So I used to paint as a little kid. My thing was painting landscapes. And my mom was obsessed with these little paintings that I would make, or I would redecorate the house. My mom would go to work and come back, and I would literally...
Mom's in the building. She's
in the
filming
90s, it was a big thing to do like what was called técnica on the walls. So my mom would go to work and come back, and the whole house would be like pink with like all these sponge paintings everywhere.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, okay. The sala looks nice. The comedor looks nice. The bathroom needs a lot of work. So anyhow, so I was trying to find a way to channel all of that because I was so into art, so into painting, into a career. Okay. My stepsister Sigrid was always obsessed with makeup. So my mom's gift to her was always those gifts. You know when you go to Macy's in Christmas, there's always these big boxes from Estee Lauder with like lipstick and this and that and all the bullshit. So every Christmas my mom would give my sister this. And so I'm like, well, bitch, I paint, so let me paint your face with this shit. And so unbeknownst to my mom, when my mom would leave to work, I would put on...
He used the word unbeknownst. Like,
yes. So my mom had glitter heels. It was the 80s and the 90s. So my mom had glitter heels. I would go in her closet. I would put the glitter heels on and rub my feet together to watch the fucking glitter sprinkle everywhere. And I would do my sister's makeup with this makeup. And I was like, oh, actually, I'm really good at this. So then when I got to high school, I hated it.
One second. Do you still use the glitter from the heels and put it in the makeup?
I didn't, but my homosexuality made me enjoy the sprinkling glitter all over the house. And my mom would come home and find the glitter sprinkled everywhere. She's like, "But estos son mi taco? Where's this is from my heels?" And I'm like, it was jazz. Meanwhile, my sister was a tomboy, but I would blame her.
Yo, the glitter was just to set the mood, bro.
It was
I just was like, we're having a whole moment. And my grandmother didn't know. She was listening to like Christian hymns and La Religión Cristiana. She didn't know what was going on. So we were in the back of the house playing games. And so when I was in high school, I had a terrible time. I went to a Catholic high school. I was like,
Wait, shout them out.
Which one?
Let's throw them under the bus.
Who?
Because I went to one.
Which one did you go to?
St. Agnes. But I will say they were great to me.
Okay.
Nah,
really
fuck
good.
them. I went to Ohio. So, and fuck them too.
St. Agnes was great. They knew I was different. I joined my first 10% club. I met mad gay people there. Wow. But I was like, this isn't for me. So I came home and I told my mom, I was like, listen, this shit is not for me. I get conventional fucking education. I'm not encouraging anybody to drop out. My story is an isolated story. But for me, I knew what I needed at that moment because I was severely depressed. I said, I have to get out of there, Mom. And my mom said, this is against everything that I believe in, but I'm not going to turn my back on you. You have 1 year. You have 1 year. I'm letting you sign up to beauty school. If you can get that one job that you want, which was at Avon Salon and Spa in the Trump Tower on 57th Street. I was 15. What? I said, oh no, bitch, I'm getting the job. She said, you got 1 year.
Shout out to Mom.
She said, you got 1 year. And I did. And so in beauty school, I went to every single teacher who taught me, and I said, I need a letter, a reference letter. Because I'm scared I'm not going to get the gig because I'm too young and because I'm Hispanic. It was all white people that used to work with me. And I was like, but I need this job because they pay for college tuition. So the barter with my mom was that I will get the job at Avon and I will go to college. I never made it to college because I became super successful in my career. And my mom was like, well, now, bitch, you're making more money than all your cousins that are in college, so you did a good thing.
Hell yeah. You knew you was never going to do that shit. You knew you was
Can I ask Mom one question? Mom, you're not going to be on the camera. So were you, at that point in time, like, it takes a lot for a mother to give that
like
space
that belief,
to their
like
son,
that
that
support.
belief.
Yeah.
So now that you know who Jonathan is, what back then do you think this would happen?
I was released. Yes, I did.
You did.
Yeah.
Yeah, you did.
We had that conversation when he was like 15.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I believe in him.
Yeah.
Damn.
Wow.
Mom said
She did know that.
she's not mic'd up. She's not mic'd up, and there's no mic around. She said I always believed in him, and then we had that conversation at 15. But for a mom to give a 15-year-old that freedom because she believed and she knew that he knew that that's what he wanted.
It came from bullying too. like I was bullied my whole life. I was bullied in PS 173. Then when I went to Catholic school, the bullying was a little bit different, but it was still, I felt less than. And then in high school, there was bullying. So my mom saw bullying for me my whole life. And she figured if this is the only thing she was always concerned with me being like suicidal or something like that. She used to ask me all the time, are you ever going to harm yourself? Do you think about that? And I'm like, Mom, no, I love my life. I just want people to love me.
Right.
So you mentioned bullying. Let me ask you something that was in the news. So a young man in the Bronx, he was being bullied by another guy. And he ended up stabbing that young kid.
Good for him.
He was just indicted.
Yeah, man, that's crazy. He was.
Yes, he was just indicted for a really long time, manslaughter. Like, and the mom was on the. I mean,
well, you understand the other side. That's what.
Yeah.
Listen,
So
I've seen. ID channel is my jam. That is what I watch when I'm bored, and I listen to criminal podcasts. I see so many white people get away with murder, literally murder, because they plead temporary insanity. If you have never been the product or the victim of bullying, you do not understand what that does to the human psyche. When people watch me on reality TV break and spaz all the time and they want to judge me, you've never sat and known what it feels like to deal with literally a whole entire decade of people telling you this is what's wrong with you, this is why you're fucked up, this is why you ain't shit. So the moment that you realize, no, y'all niggas ain't shit, you snap. So that boy does not deserve to be incarcerated. I will say maybe he needs to get some psychiatric evaluation, but I see white people get away with murder all the time and plead temporary insanity. That boy had a psychotic break from all the years of abuse, and it is not fair. What's his name?
I don't know his name.
Justice for hashtag that boy that broke. Justice for him. Period.
He was in
Justice
so
for
he was indicted on manslaughter, which is not a.
He had a psychotic break due to what his previous experience were before that moment, and it is not fair.
So let me ask you a question. As a person, you've been on that side. Is there something that you, like a program or something you would come up with where someone who has been bullied or is in that space, for them to come so you can tell them, listen, this is what happens and this is how you deal with it? Because I feel like that's the problem. There's no real outreach for that.
I mean, well, luckily now there is. So there's so many hotlines that obviously people are bullied for being part of a marginalized group. So people are bullied for being schizophrenic, or people are bullied for being autistic or being gay or being whatever. Now every subgroup has a hotline or something. I would beg anybody who is out there being bullied, and this is very serious, to, before you consider harming yourself or harming somebody else, do your homework. The internet is a bountiful place, and you can find anything that you need to know. There is, I promise you, somebody out there who's going through the same thing that you are, and the very moment that you feel like you belong to a community, all those negative thoughts will dissipate. I hated the world for so long, and I hated so many people. I even hated family members. And once I realized I'm not alone and there's a big community that I'm a part of, I said, oh, I'm not only a part of this community, I want to be a leader in this community. And it will change your life.
That's what fuck with you, man. Fuck bullies. Word.
Fuck bullies. And Gyra, if you're watching this, bitch, I remember you.
Yeah.
Look at me now, bitch. And look at you.
Yeah, Gyra.
So, actually, there was a hotline for transgender people who are thinking of committing suicide. It just went up.
Finally, about time.
Yes.
Yes.
I'll put it up on our page, but I saw that you put it up as well, and a couple people.
And you can see it on my page as well at ImSoJonathan. Like I said, I put these pages up all the time, not to put a cloud over this. We're gonna have a drinking game, by the way.
We are.
We will be having a drinking, and we're gonna lighten the mood.
Okay.
But if there is anybody watching this who has contemplated hurting themselves or hurting somebody else, know that you're not alone, and I know your pain, and it is better to come out a victor than a victim.
Thank you. So, No, this is exactly what we wanted.
Yeah,
we needed someone.
We wanted this. We wanted to go there.
We wanted to go there. But I have family members that are in the makeup industry.
I actually have a question about that.
Wait.
Wearing makeup right now?
I am.
You are?
Yes.
Yo, those are my questions for later.
Hold on a second. Let me get to that first.
Damn, dude.
You know what's the next?
Christ.
I need to come back and I need to give you all like makeup makeovers. I need to
makeover?
put makeup on the straight man. Makeup on the straight man sounds like the jam.
I'm down.
So I
100,000.
I've been waiting to learn how to
1,000%,
contour.
I'm down with it, you know. I'm ready for it, honestly.
Get even, bro. I gotta get my.
So my cousin who's a makeup artist, she lives in.
what you do with those big eyes.
Yeah. I was gonna say Rick needs like something.
Hey, listen.
Rick needs something like this.
These are captivating, baby.
Okay.
We can make
Am I
these
right?
shits
We
work.
got a potential smoky eye.
Hey.
So I have my sister's best friend.
Ooh, can I get one too?
Yes. And my cousin who lives in Providence, but she was gonna change her flight to come over here just to meet you. She does makeup also as well.
Oh, lit.
So I have like 4 or 5 people that do makeup that wanted to be here to just meet you, just to let you know the following. Plus, I had to tell some people like, oh, it's limited space in the back, so if you can come, get there.
Well, I appreciate it.
And there's a bunch of people that couldn't make it, and I'll fill you in.
Funny story.
Go.
Jonathan and I go way back. And
Way back from my childhood.
Whoa.
And Jonathan's always known that I've been a makeup aficionado. And Jonathan was the first person to believe in my makeup skills.
Yes.
What?
And he got me an interview at Mac when he
Yes.
was
Oh my
What?
Yeah.
Yo.
I remember that.
And he was networking.
And she was one of the first people to hire me as a professional makeup artist from the
Wait,
high.
hold on.
Hold on
You
a second.
actually
Wait,
did
time out,
my
time out.
little sister's Sweet 16 makeup.
Oh shit.
I did?
Yeah.
You did?
Yeah.
Wait, I didn't.
Your goddaughter?
And no,
Yo.
you did his sister, but
My little
Bryce's
sister's Sweet 16. You did?
I didn't know any of this, so wow.
I did.
Wait,
You
what?
took my face.
Yes. Dominicans will rally around their people. When I tell you, it is crazy. Obviously, I have people who support me from all different cultures or whatever, but there's so many Dominicans around me, like Erica and Julissa and Giovanni. There's so
No, make her
many.
bring it. Make her bring it. Patty, come on, make her bring it.
Come on. Wait. Yeah.
But you know what? It's such a testament to like Dominican Americans, especially first generation and second generation Dominicans. Like when we see somebody on their way up, instead of shooting them down, we build them up.
Hell yeah.
And people ask me all the time, like, how did you, because I dropped out of high school. I don't even have a GED.
Wow.
So when people see the things that I've done or the countries that I've visited, they're like, how did you do that before you were 30? And honestly, yes, a lot of people believed me, but more than that, it was so many Dominicans around me rallying and boosting me up. Like them, they're all here, and we all grew up together.
Woo,
It's
shout
so
out to
many
them.
faces in the room that saw me in diapers. We were in your house listening to Selena when Selena died, and it was so many. Seriously.
And I'm gonna say,
Wait, hold on a second. He mentioned earlier he doesn't condone. The reason why we have certain guests on the show is to illustrate, like, okay, you might not be conventional, you can't go through college and you can't finish high school. That does not mean you can't be successful. You still be. You gotta find your niche, your lane, and do you.
I want to talk a little bit about my favorite aspect of Jonathan.
Here we go.
His role in the it should be like Emmy nominated Love and Hip Hop franchise. I love that show.
It was recently nominated, I saw, for like a MTV award or something.
For real?
But you know what it was nominated for that I'm proud of?
What?
A GLAAD award.
Woo!
Yeah.
Okay.
How did you get involved with that?
In the GLAAD awards or the show?
The show.
The show.
All right. So what most people don't know is that when Love and Hip Hop first started, I was a makeup artist for the show.
Oh.
So I was doing everybody's makeup. I was doing Chrissy and Jim Jones. I was doing Emily B. I was doing Samaya.
Wait, you mean Jim Jones, the hardest dude in the room, was wearing makeup?
No, he wasn't wearing makeup. Hold on now. I'm not trying to put that out there. But I made sure.
I love you, Jimmy.
I made sure the men were not shiny. Let's say that.
Okay.
That's me. I'm oily as fuck.
But you know, Olivia and all of them. And so when they introduced Yandy and Kimbella to the cast, season 2, I was already friends with Yandy because I had been doing Missy Elliott's makeup. And Yandy used to co-manage Missy Elliott under Mona Scott Young. And so what most people don't know is I was behind the cameras for years.
Wow.
People think and love to say on social media that K. Michelle created me. K. Michelle is a singer. Some of you may know her. Most of you might not.
Yeah. You know. She got a couple little things, but I'm Team Jonathan.
I'm telling you right now, one person can claim they created me, and that's Miriam Lopez, and the bitch is sitting right there.
Right there.
So anybody who wants to claim they created Jonathan, you've got heavy competition because she doesn't back down from a fight.
Word.
That being said,
Any booty that wants
So I knew.
so
it was because you were the makeup. On IMDb it says you're credited
for
as
years,
the makeup artist for the show.
And so being a makeup artist on the show, you know, the crew on the show becomes really tight. It becomes a big family. The producers all build a niche around the people who create the show. So do the cast members. For instance, I met Emily B on the show. Emily B is like my sister. Her kids call me Theo.
Wow.
Literally, we're like this.
I mean, you're probably the only 2 Dominican on the show.
No.
Well, besides
No, Anabela mucho.
Anais was
Who?
Anais?
Who's that?
Oh.
Right.
I go back to my original statement.
Here's the thing.
I'll go back to my original statement. No, we don't. I'll go back to my original statement. There's only 2 Dominicans on the show. Emily and Jonathan.
He got it right.
And Tahiri was there for a little season.
So, you know, being behind the scenes for so many years, the network got to know all of us. For years, back from like season 3.
But you're like gold though. They should have put you on immediately.
Well, back in
You
season
don't
2,
take nobody's
back
shit.
in season 2, because they saw how close me and Emily were, they tried to do it. Back then, I was heavier. I didn't feel sexy. I didn't feel confident. I used to laugh after every sentence. I just knew I wasn't going to be good TV. So I said no. I was like, I don't want to do this. They brought K. Michelle onto Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. Later on, she got her own show. They did a whole pilot. I was not involved in it. And when the network saw it and when the producers saw it, they said, something's missing here. You're not vibing. They said, what about your makeup artist? We've known him for years. He's hysterical behind the scenes. Let's see what he does. Let's put him in front of the camera. Let's test him. It was a test. And all of a sudden they were like, oh no, you're on the show. You're one of the main ones.
Let's go.
That's TV gold. I said it. TV gold.
Honestly, like I said, one of my favorite
personalities.
I'm not fucking kidding. I swear.
I mean, I messaged Jonathan a long time ago, but Craze was one of the ones that was like,
this guy's a fucking star, bro. Like, I feel like,
for sure.
You know, the thing about it is this. For me, I'm a Dominican man. We have a lot of, we don't have a lot of representation that's not a stereotypical drug dealer from, you know, the high end. So I feel like just to see another type of Dominican on the show, and you're fucking hilarious. So I was like, yo.
Well, the comedy part is just his person, and again, I don't take.
You have to do a scream before you leave.
Oh, no fucking body.
Please,
I got you.
I want you to scream at me.
So
I got you.
Who put you on to Love and Hip Hop though?
Yo, you did.
Okay, so she is. But my question is, besides Love and Hip Hop, like, is there something, like, is there a dream project you would like to do? I mean, away from the makeup, like, if somebody came to you with a television, like, Jonathan, I want to put X amount of dollars behind you, whatever network it is, what would you do with that?
So the first time that I did Love and Hip Hop, 2 seasons ago, I at the end of the season, I literally was in a moment where I was like, why did I do this? Like, the world thinks I'm crazy. The world thinks that all I do is scream and that I'm dramatic. And that is a portion of me. That's very much the inner Tia Silvia that lives in me. Everybody has that one Tia that loses it. My Tia is Tia Silvia.
Shout out Tia Silvia.
Shout out to Tia Silvia. She lives inside of me, and I didn't realize how much till I saw myself on reality TV. So at the end of the show, I was like, you know, why did I do this? The world thinks I'm fucking crazy. If they even asked me to come back, and they did. And so I was like, you know what? If I come back, I want to.
Ratings would drop if they wouldn't have asked.
Okay.
No, I'm be honest. Like, there's a little kind of dull personalities on. Mona, you need to re-up. I'll be honest.
Yeah.
They're saying it, not me.
Yeah.
Cut them checks, Mona. But we need to re-up on the cast.
But I was like, you know what? If I come back, I want to have a purpose and I want to do something. And then I was like, why did you even start doing any of this? I was like, I want to have my own makeup line. I'm into fragrance. I want to have my own fragrance line. It was just all these things. Those are all things that, luckily for me, yes, I at the time didn't have the capital to say launch a whole makeup line. It cost like $200,000 to come up with your own makeup line.
Shit.
Because of the show, while I'm sitting there wondering why did I do this, because of the exposure that it gave me, people reached out and said, listen, we want to put all this money behind you. You don't have to pay anything. You're the creative director. You're the owner. Go with it. So I do have my own makeup line and own
What's it called? Line coming up. What's your makeup line?
They're both called, they're both under the franchise of Gaunabo & Co.
And what about the fragrance? Because we took a picture earlier and you smell.
It smells great, yeah.
So just literally last week.
It's not.
Thank you.
He looks and smells phenomenal. It's true.
I mean, but that's about my question.
He's not the first man to tell me this, by the way.
We smell him.
You know? Yeah.
We can do a scratch and sniff test, guys.
I smelled him already.
I'll tell you where you can scratch them.
Phenomenal.
So he didn't scratch there, I promise.
He didn't scratch.
We're totally going off topic. Where's the drinking game?
Yo, let's start it. What do you want?
haven't even mentioned
but
the
real quick,
fragrance
just to
yet.
plug it. Okay, just to plug it,
Yeah.
yes. So my brand is called Gaunabo & Co., which Gaunabo was the first woke Dominican, or actually inhabitant of the Hispaniola. We don't know if it was Haitian or Dominican or whatever, but when Christopher Columbus landed on Hispaniola, he left 40 colonizers there, and Gaunabo was the first person to fight oppression and say, these people are here to take over our land. Fuck these motherfuckers. Let's kill all these motherfuckers.
Woo!
Killed all 40 of them with his wife, Ana Caona. So all the men fragrances are under Gaunabo, all the female fragrances are under Ana Caona.
Very nice.
Now to the drinking game.
Very nice.
The Dominicans know their kids.
So,
The drinking game.
okay, one more.
Can I?
We need a drinking game. We have to. There's so much liquor.
No, you can't.
I can't go to sleep soundly knowing that we left liquor go to waste.
I have 3 more questions before we get to the
Yes,
drinking
3
game.
more questions.
Lightning round.
What is something about you? Hold on.
Slide through to get.
What is something about you that people do not know from your television? Well, they know a lot about your life, TV. But what is something that you keep guarded and safe that you don't? Like,
tell everybody.
Are you a secret baseball player or a tennis player? Like,
Were you ever?
Tell us something.
Never.
Or we can ask mom or something. You know.
Never. The most athletic I ever was in my all-boys school. I said, I don't play sports, so what can I do?
Oh my God.
He said, cheer the boys on, and I was the only one male cheerleader for 2,000 boys.
Woo! That's a pioneer right there.
By myself.
I'm still gonna go back in. Give me something else that nobody knows about you.
Something that nobody knows.
That is very private.
They wouldn't tell about you. Maybe some people know.
Like your favorite food.
Or or you're a shy person, or you.
You know what it is? Because I'm a reality star and I'm so open. I'm more open than all the other reality stars on that same platform. I feel like anything about me, you guys know.
That's true.
You guys know it. I don't keep anything a secret.
Jonathan's stare is intense.
Yeah.
And he's looking at me. He's like,
My mom taught me that because my mom, when I was a little kid, said
I'm like,
I was very
better not look
insecure
away.
growing up. I was insecure, so I wouldn't look people in their face. And my mom sat me on her lap one time. We used to be boliteros. You know what the bolita is? Racketeering.
Yeah.
That's what my whole family did. That's what I'm saying. And honey, she did her numbers. Look at her. She's gagging. She's gagging. She's gagging.
Yo, don't worry.
This was back in the day.
This is
This was
theoretical.
back in the fucking day.
this is
Many moons ago. Many moons ago.
this is in theory.
Listen,
Theoretically.
there's a
If it
7-year
could've
fucking,
happened.
what is it? There's a 7-year
Statute of
gap.
Statute of
Yes.
limitation.
So if you want to come find
he
us,
looked this
it's
shit
too
up.
late, bitch, because I was a kid.
Yeah.
But she was done running her numbers, and I don't remember. It was a man sitting across from her. And I was
Allegedly.
talking to
You
him.
throw that in there.
Allegedly. And I wouldn't look him in the face, and my mom sat me on her lap, and she said, when you talk to another man, and you have to look them in the face, or they're never going to take you serious.
Nah,
and
but
they're
you're
going to
looking
think
at
you're a liar.
people's souls because you're looking at me
So
like.
I was like, oh, well, I don't want to be
know
called a
your
liar,
history.
and so I look people in their face.
Yeah, man.
Another question. Who inspired you as far as like in life? It doesn't have to be makeup because people. I didn't want to ask any makeup questions because you're not a makeup artist. You're more than that, and I think that you've proven that in the last couple of years.
For sure.
So, who is someone that inspires you?
I'll give you 3.
Okay.
First, it was a makeup artist named Kevin Alquan.
Yes.
He is like, for all those who don't know makeup or who are venturing into makeup, research him, Google him. He was amazing. He wrote the first books.
Yes.
2 was my mom, because she was always a single woman, a single Hispanic woman in America with
Great advice.
not great English, and my mom always did the best that
Mom,
she could.
You knocked
She
it out the park,
worked
bro.
hard, and then my mom always, some people are always like, how are you so cultured if you're from Washington Heights? But there wasn't a single Rocketeer show on Radio City that I didn't know of.
Oh,
like
shit.
I have pictures as a child sitting next to fucking Celia Cruz and Pedro.
Rest in peace, by the way.
Rest in
It's
peace
16 I think
today.
it's
16 years.
Today, yes.
how many years? 16. So today is the exact, which is wow. You just brought her up.
That's crazy.
So rest in peace to her. Wow.
Yeah.
Yo,
so
she's
my mom
buried
was
in
like,
Long Cemetery.
you know what? Although we can only afford to live in Washington Heights, I can also afford to give you the life of those who live out of Washington Heights, and I want you to experience that. So
Wow.
she was always a big motivation for me. And my sister Jasmine. My sister Jazz was like, I've never seen nobody with that kind of tenacity as a human being. My sister got pregnant at 14.
Okay.
At 15, she gave birth. The way that my sister was talked about in front of her face and walking through Washington Heights, you know how Dominican older ladies are. Ay, niña, pero tan joven. And when I saw my sister always keep her head up and walk through the crowd, and yeah, bitch, I made a mistake and I'm here and I'm
Well,
gonna make the best
it
of
happened.
it. It inspired me.
Yeah, it happened. It wasn't a mistake. Well, people like
It wasn't. My
shit
sister,
happens.
you know,
It's
my
not a
sister was a
bumper
young
sticker.
girl, and girls at that age can make decisions that they might later regret. But my sister made the best of it, and my sister gave her daughters the best life. They have the best education, and I've never seen nobody work like that.
So now I have to order a fresh beer. Jonathan wants to play a drink.
You sure you want?
With a, yeah, we're
Listen,
gonna play it.
I'm
But
a fan of the
I-
show. I will say that I'm a fan of the show. I've never seen you guys this drunk before on the show.
That's because you here.
You guys are a little tossed up.
I honestly, I want to say though,
You guys are a little drunk.
we're gonna. Well, we asked the audience questions,
Okay.
but we'll play one round of this drinking game.
We're playing 2 rounds.
Can we do like a?
We're playing 2 rounds. I could
Can we
drink
do like
any
a
man
version-
under the table.
Can we do like a
Gay or
version-
straight. Let me prove it.
Wait, what?
So can we do a version where the audience asks us the question and then we
Okay.
gotta drink?
So we'll take questions from the audience.
And what? So we're playing. It's
Never Have I Ever.
Never have I ever.
He's out. He's
I'm
done.
already. I just never have I ever.
Can I help?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. So look, Never Have I Ever is a game. You say things that you have never done, and
Never
if you've done it,
You done?
you drink.
You drink? That's
But
basically
it's cheating for me because you guys are playing with me. I've done everything.
We'll find out. We'll find out.
Lose, Rick.
We'll find out. Hold on, before we play that.
But the audience is gonna tell us.
The co-host went to the bathroom. Benny always does that.
Fucking Benny.
Then we were going on commercial break.
No, we're not going on commercial break because I'm gonna let the audience ask a question. You ask a
Wait, hold
question.
on. I didn't turn off my
You
mic
let
by mistake, did I?
Jonathan. What you want?
Did I turn my mic off? I hit it by the table.
No, we're
Let me
good.
see.
We're good.
It's on.
Okay.
Yeah, it's on.
We're good.
So we'll let the audience ask a question. They can ask the question. Jonathan will answer, and then we'll ask another question. So, the lady that's asking question will
Desiree.
go first. Des is my cousin. She's in the audience. Oh, Vanessa, you got one too?
Vanessa has a
So
question.
Vanessa will go first, then then Des. That's fair. Vanessa, you go first. From Cali, fresh from Cali. Welcome back.
PG-13.
Nah,
Go ahead.
Honey, I live my life
Ask
X-rated.
I want to know more about the orgy when I'm 8.
Wait.
With who? Who's that?
Excuse me. Wait, hold on a second. Vanessa.
Who's that?
Vanessa, I
don't know
what you're
her.
talking about.
You know, I mean,
Skip.
it's a valid question,
That's a
but
good one.
that's
I'll give you the details. You want that?
I do.
Hold on a second.
Give me
I'm
the
gonna.
details.
As the host of the show, there's gonna be a first. Jonathan's on the show, so Jonathan will be the host. He'll be the curator because you have to use the bathroom. It's been 2 guests and we've been drinking beer.
Oh, you have to use the bathroom now?
This is gonna be terrible. So, do you want to answer this one?
Let's go.
Yes,
I got you.
All right. So, Jonathan, it's the Jonathan Fernandez show.
You're sure you
Jonathan
want to
H.
pee
show.
right now? You're gonna miss all the juicy details.
Do it now.
Well, I got all the
Installation.
JF show.
By the time Rick gets back, we're gonna have our
If
shirts
I
on.
don't
We're
do
gonna
it,
have a
I'm
new
gonna.
show. Get out of here. Get out of here.
So let's trade seats to make it even better. No, honestly, we're gonna trade
Yeah,
seats.
sit right here, man.
There we go.
Is anybody gonna go to his chair?
It's still on.
No.
I'm
he
gonna
is.
sit here.
Oh, baby.
We'll turn the mic this way. Mom?
Okay.
Is Mom gonna pop in?
Vanessa?
No?
So
Gio, you wanna sit down?
Come in, Gio.
So this is the Jonathan Fernandez show!
We had the question over here. Oh.
before I give you the details of the orgy,
Oh.
Okay.
Giovanni,
Whoa, wait.
earmuffs.
Wait, before we explain.
Giovanni?
Is not 12 years old.
He's 21.
He is 21 years old. Legal. So.
Continue.
But he's like my little protege. I saw him in diapers, so it feels a little weird.
That's true. Also, his next door neighbor
Yes.
and his family's over here.
Let's go. So let's talk about this orgy.
Okay, so for my 25th birthday, my friends Anais, my previous friend Anais, and my actual best friend Jonas decided to throw me a birthday party. My friend was a promoter at the time, so he said, the only way I can lure people in is if we bring strippers. So I said, amazing. He said, pick your strippers. Great. So I handpicked all the strippers for my birthday. I picked all these beautiful men and women. They were all the dancers of my party. Come the day of my birthday, nobody's there. It is ghost town. And Anais was supposed to be performing. So we're backstage. I'm doing Anais's makeup for my birthday. And she's like, who cares, bitch? It don't matter. We're going to have a good time. And I was like, bitch, how the fuck we going to have a good time when there's nobody here? It's just you, me, and the stripper. She's like, yeah, bitch, that's the good time. And I didn't know what she was talking about. So I'm like, I don't want to just have a good time with you and Jonas and these strippers. I want to have a party. So fast forward, maybe 10 more people showed up. Anais was singing to an empty crowd and a ton of strippers.
Ooh. That sounds like my kind of party.
Come the end of the night in Connecticut at that time. This was my 25th birthday 10 years ago.
Oh, thank you, Patty.
You sure
You sure you need it?
Story still.
So, it's 10 years ago. At that time, the area of Connecticut that we were all in, the parties were over at 2. So at 1:50, Anais is like, you ready? And I'm like, bitch, I'm ready for what? She's like, for the party, bitch. This isn't the party. I said, well, what's the party? She's like, oh, it's an after party. So tell the stripper, come with us. And I was like, okay. So I'm inviting all the strippers back to my friend Jonas's house. And my friend Jonas is a huge prude. He's very nervous Nelly. He's very anxious. So he's like, Jonathan, what's happening? She's inviting strippers to my house, and I haven't cleaned, and he's spiraling. So I'm like, bitch, go with the fucking flow for once in your fucking life. It's Connecticut. He has a huge, his bedroom has a huge bathroom, huge ensuite bathroom with a jacuzzi in it. So Anais gets in first. She goes in to take a bath, like the Little Mermaid. She's swimming around naked. And I'm like, well, okay, this is lovely, but we have people outside. She said, no, the party isn't here. Go out and get the guy that wore the purple thong. And I said, what do you mean? She said, just follow my lead. Just listen. She was like a whole domination. She set the whole thing up. So I'm bringing in one guy, bringing in a girl, bringing in everybody. She's like, okay, you want him to do this? Well, now you have to eat her pussy. And I was like, oh, I don't want to do that. Oh. I do not want to do that. This is where I draw the line.
That's where you draw the line?
Wait.
It was a stripper who came from New York in Connecticut. She had been dancing all night. I kind of drew the line.
No, you're right.
But I rolled with the punches and I did it, and I didn't really like it. And I didn't like it.
You didn't like it.
So I looked up and I was like, Anais, it tastes like batteries. It tastes like when you put your tongue on like a Duracell battery, like to see if it has life. It tasted like B-Loss, and I was like, I don't think I want to do this anymore.
Yeah.
There we go. That's as much as you're gonna get from the orgy. But
you.
she started it.
So,
Did that answer your question? All right, good.
goodness gracious. Welcome back to the Jonathan Fernandez show. The next question is from my man O right there. O is actually, you see that hat he's wearing? O design, and he wears, that's ADC, a different concept.
A different concept.
His
I
clothing
don't know
line.
if it's a question. It's more like
Is it a statement?
talking to you.
Okay.
A couple things.
It's
My wife,
choking
she went
you.
to the bathroom.
Oh,
I'm a
damn.
huge fan.
Keisha.
So we need a picture with the good cameras.
Yes.
That's I'm in it.
He wanted to make sure that shit was on air and
I
recorded.
need to get that. 2, I just said my wife. You're fucking attractive, dude.
Oh, thank you.
Can't say anything about it because I came with my wife.
So Keisha's walking in here.
Hey,
Oh,
Keisha, we're taking our picture, Keish.
That's
So,
About you.
but
repeat it again. Oh, no, don't backtrack. Repeat it again in front of your
Don't
lady.
I
backpedal.
said you want a picture with the good cameras.
Yes.
We're not talking about that. We're talking about the second
After.
statement,
I
yeah.
said he's a fucking attractive dude.
He's beautiful.
Thank you.
I'm comfortable enough to admit when another dude got it.
No, I said it
love
from the
that.
beginning. He smelled great
He
and
was
he looks
watching
great.
TV and I was like, damn, cool. I'm not too familiar with the LGBTQ.
That's it's changed now, the acronym.
I never had a friend who was it. I know people, but I never knew anybody personally, right? And there's so many questions that I would want to ask.
Shoot them all.
We're gonna talk. We're gonna talk.
You answered it when you started talking. From the beginning of the interview, when you said, when did you know you was gay? When did you know you was straight?
That's it.
I respect that.
Yeah, that's it.
Because it's
Well, he's a man. He said he's a man first.
but we look at gay as being like a thing where it's like it's
Submissive
a
or
preference,
feminine
you know?
or
It's a preference.
less than.
So
Yeah.
when you said, when did you know you were straight? It's like the minute I saw titties.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait. Hold
So
on.
I kind of get what he's saying.
I wanna ask Jonathan
I
now.
get no.
But that's respectable.
You made that statement. When was the first time you
That's
saw Aunt Mom's
100%,
here?
man.
Mama don't care. She seen me on
When you
TV
saw-
talk about everything.
When you saw
he
boobs.
did.
When he saw people- when he saw people-
He said.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But that's respectable because it's like, as a straight man, you always want to know, how do you know you're gay? Because you don't understand it, so you don't know what that's like.
Every single
Yeah.
straight man in the world has questioned if they were gay or not. I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna tell
Listen,
you
I'm gonna say one thing real quick because you say your brother's gay. What people say all the time, like, or people question if it's a choice or not. Let me tell you this: given the option, and this is gonna sound crazy, it's gonna sound bigoted, it's gonna sound racist, it's gonna sound insane. Given the option to be a minority or a majority in the womb, nobody would ever pick to be the minority. I'm a double minority.
There you go.
I'm Latino and I'm gay. Nobody would ever, and I'm excessively gay. There's a lot of gay men. I'm excessively gay. There's a lot of gay men who live their life like, you know, they you know what I'm saying, hey, palm my nigga, yeah. They live their life like that. I never lived my life like that.
So-
the minute I know I was gay, I was dyeing my hair crazy colors. I was like wearing tie dye. I was wearing crop tops. That my mom was like, okay, mijo, I understand. Like, you're gay, but why does your hair have to look like a locrio? Like, why does it have to look orange? I get it. For me, that was how I wanted to
I've
live
seen
it.
gay thugs
Let me-
before.
let me say
I've
something.
seen
Yeah.
guys that I
No.
honestly, one of my best friends in college was gay, and he took me to Escuelita one night. If you don't know what that is, Google it.
Oh, I know.
It used to be a club on 40 Deuce.
We know.
And I walked in, and outside the club, there was dudes in Mermonts, in North Face, thick ass gold chains,
Baggy
Timbs.
pants.
I don't think Tim's tells you what New York.
No,
Tim's.
but
Nope.
Here's
Hard ass motherfuckers.
yeah.
I walked in, Living La Vida Loca was playing, and they were grinding on each other.
That's a
and
jam.
I'm
a jam.
not being, I'm not making fun of Ricky. That was just the song that actually was playing,
That's
and
a-
they were grinding on each
That's
other.
a great fucking song.
And when I went back home, I was like, I understand. Those dudes are scared to be who they are.
Nobody would pick to be the minority. Nobody would pick to be a target. Like, I literally walk into so many situations with a bullseye on my back and on my forehead. I do. Literally, like, I remember when I used to take the train. I don't take the train at all because I'm claustrophobic, for one, and for two, I hate ignorance. And I ran into the most ignorant people on the train.
Yeah.
And Nobody would walk into that situation. Nobody would choose that. Nobody would pick that. My grandmother is the most religious woman I've ever seen in my life. Like, people be saying they're religious. My grandmother holds the Bible near and dear. She wakes up in the morning, she paints her eyebrows on, and she reads the Bible. For real. True story. And literally, I will never forget this. My grandmother, one time, I was drinking, and it was her best friend, Clara, drinks as well. We were all drinking, and my grandmother, with tears in her eyes, said, you know, I've lived my life a woman of faith. I've lived my life close to the Bible, and I would love to be able to say that I don't have any questions for God, but I do have one, and it's you. You didn't pick this. She said, I knew you were the way that you are before you knew. And she did. When I was a little boy, she told my mom, she said, I think your son is gay. And so my grandmother is a testament of a person who is so close to the cloth of God, and still her. And we're talking about a lady who grew up in the farmlands of Dominican Republic, used to carry water on her head in buckets, didn't have no formal education. She knew. And so she told me, she said, you're my only question. I want to know why. I want to understand if this is wrong and this is not with his word, why did he make you like this? Because before you understood to make a choice, you were this way.
Well, so
Shout out, Grandma.
Rick, let me say something.
I have a question.
Tell me.
No, let me say something. Because I understand what O was trying to say as well. And when you, in the beginning, you said, like, how'd you like, when did you first figure out you were straight? And then you said, hey, I'm a man, this is what I do. So there's some straight men that they try to, they're like, they don't understand what gay man goes through, but you have to understand that just because a guy likes a guy, that doesn't make him not a man.
Less of a man, for sure.
Make him less of a man.
Yeah.
So
when you said that,
even though a gay man, it's he likes other men, or a man likes a woman, we're all men.
Yes.
For sure.
Like, you're a man, just like me.
Yeah.
So, we're
so
all
I was
same
happy
here.
when you said,
Do you know how big balls you have to
Exactly.
be on national television on a show that's watched by 7 million people and say, I love dick, I take dick, I give dick? It takes the biggest fucking balls to say that on a platform with huge thug rappers like Mano, like fucking like all the ones who are on the show. Like, I sit on the same platform with them, and I'm like, okay, that is your opinion, that is your life. My life is this. This is what I believe. This is who I am, and they respect me even more for it.
At the end of the day, real recognize real, and Mano, you just mentioned this. I'm gonna use him as an example. Mano is the type of guy that I don't know him personally, but it seems like to me like he respects.
Real.
If you're a real person and
Yes.
you are who you are, then that's. But if you're someone
100%.
that's trying to be something,
Him and Stevie J are the two men from that whole
really
franchise.
Stevie J.
Yep.
Really?
The two men
Wow.
from that whole franchise. Let me not say that. Actually, and Safari as well.
Okay.
Who have
Back
from the
to the
beginning
okay.
told me, like, I don't understand your life, I don't get it, but I respect you 100% because you're 100% yourself.
All right. So what we're doing?
Want me to join?
Yes.
Yeah. hell yeah.
You're of age.
Ronnie's 21.
You're of age.
Bonnie is 21.
It's not cold. You're gonna get some woman.
No, we haven't started the game.
You gotta wait, bro. You gotta wait, bro.
He's a Sanchez. He wants to. So
Let's go.
we'll start this way, Vanessa.
All right.
Just two.
So how are we
wait,
playing?
two.
Are we playing Never Have I Ever?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
what?
yeah,
Never have I ever.
yeah, never have I ever.
You'll win. It's not fair.
No.
I wanna try.
Never have I ever. We'll let Keisha go first because she wasn't here during the questions.
No, I'm the I don't want to start. Orlando can start.
No.
Play the game.
Yes.
Never have I ever. Go. You go.
Like something that we have never done. That you think we have never
No.
done.
Any question. Oh.
Anything.
Any
So
question?
wait, who do I want to see drunk?
Anybody, doesn't matter, bro.
Oh, it don't
We
matter.
all-
I end up never drunk with Never Have I Ever because I've done everything.
You
I'm a
wanna see
fucking freak
You
show.
want to see them drunk?
It doesn't
Yes.
matter. Oh.
You want to
Alright.
see them drunk?
Drunk-er.
Let's go. Do you want to see me drunk?
So wait.
You're 21, Gio.
Nita.
The rules are if you did it, you got to drink.
Yes.
No, if you've never done it, you drink. So if I were to play and I would say, never have I ever have had a dick up my ass, they would all have to drink.
Okay. All right. So let's start
I
with.
thought it was the opposite.
Is that the one we're starting with?
Thank you for clarifying.
So
Jonathan's winning. Out for it.
never have I
Kiss the man. That's this
Wait,
very
no,
varies the kissing. So
In the mouth.
In the mouth.
I've done that.
Kiss your girl.
I mean, I kissed him. I mean, not like would kiss my girl, but I kissed a man on the mouth.
honestly, I've kissed a man, so it's not like
the way you kiss your girl.
So if I drink, I've never done it.
Like kiss? Or like tongue? Lengua?
Wait, you drink if you've done it?
No, you can drink if you've never done it.
You've done it.
If you've never done it.
He made the
If you've
rules.
never
Alright,
done
so
it.
let's train this out.
Mixed it up.
You drink if you've done it, not if you
No,
haven't.
you drink if you've never done it.
So none of us know how to play.
What do you mean?
Obviously,
I've never played like this.
Alright, so Jonathan, how do you want the rules to go?
That's cheating. That's like,
Justin.
I don't know.
And we cheat.
So so you want, if you've never done it, you drink.
Yes, if
Okay.
you've never done it, that's more fun because
Okay.
it makes people tell the truth.
Okay.
You guys never kissed a man, drink.
Okay.
Next question. Dale. LA.
What was your question?
Giovanni would talk. Giovanni would talk.
Vanessa.
Giovanni, never have I ever.
Okay, this side.
No questions.
No
Alright, so
question.
I'll do it.
Mom.
It's because Giovanni
Mom,
sitting
get
in
one.
Never have I ever. Give them a hypothetical.
Never have I ever. Una pregunta.
Mom. Mom is gonna come up with a number.
He wrong for a woman. That's
What?
Never have I
Never
ever
have I
ran
ever run from a woman.
Never have I ever run from a woman. I mean, I run.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to drink for that one too because yeah, I ran from you.
Shout out to
Dykeman beer. But wait, if you ran from a woman, you take a sip.
Yes.
So I never ran from a woman. Though. Okay. Keisha, I need you to give me one. No, give me one. Give me one.
Just one more. Just one more. Okay, good.
Vanessa.
No.
All right. Never have I ever.
Never have I ever shoplifted.
Never have I ever.
So if you've done it, you drink.
If you've shoplifted, then you take a drink.
What if you were living?
Wait, what if I took a bag of potato chips?
They forced me to do it, and I confess.
Potato chips, man.
You gotta drink.
Knock it back.
They forced me to do it. I was a kid, and I confessed.
So you drink.
You know what's
So I did
crazy?
I did. Wait.
All right. So I guess we'll do the cast now. And Gio go first. Never have ever. You gotta ask a question. Go ahead.
You on camera, baby. Skip.
Okay.
You can't skip. All right. Fine.
Skip.
So my question goes to Keisha. Keisha, again, you can answer my question.
What?
Never have I ever.
Cheating, dude.
Never have I ever. Give me one.
We should have started with me.
Oh no, not me.
All right.
Never have I
No,
ever
you guys
had
have to ask.
Never have I ever had an orgy with Anais.
Y'all all better drink.
Never have I ever. So if you haven't
I thought it
done
was the
it,
opposite.
I thought it was the opposite.
No, if you have not done it, you drink.
Yo, you keep changing the rules.
okay.
He's cheating.
I had Jonathan drunk.
Last
Okay.
one. Last one.
Never have I ever had a one night stand.
Never have I ever had.
So if you haven't done it,
That's all my Friday nights since I was 18.
Do your sign up.
That's all my Friday nights.
okay.
Explain it to Giovanni.
Great. So Giovanni, you had a one-night stand. You gotta explain that to his mom. I want to thank Jonathan Fernandez, his mother, his family for coming through. 40th episode, season finale. We'll see you guys September 10th.
Dykeman beer.
Cheers.
Cheers, bro.
Cheers.